Do I wave the
Yes,
gavel?
Throw to the air.
Okay.
I used to spin it.
Oh, am I supposed to do that first or after? Oh, I'm messing up already. I'm calling the Parks Advisory Board Committee meeting to order at 6:01-ish. You know, what am I supposed to do? So, has everybody had a chance to go over the minutes that was in the packet? All right. I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a
Motion
motion.
Go ahead.
I'll make a motion to approve January's minutes.
Second.
Okay. Let's vote. It's been a day already. So, everybody who approves, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody not approve, oppose, say nay. Anybody abstaining?
I'm abstaining.
Okay. So 2 abstentions. Bob and Tanya. All right.
And was it Mike or David who seconded?
I
It was
second.
Mike. Yeah, so Jill made it and Mike seconded. Okay, so let's move right along. We have an appearance of interested citizens, and top of our list is Rhonda Rich. And it looks like she has a second of Carol Hips.
Yes, yes.
And we are, you
We're
know,
connected.
perfect.
Is it on?
Yeah. I think so. I hear you.
Okay, good. Good evening, my name is Rhonda Rich. I'm president of the West Kaiser Neighborhood Association. We have elections in January. And with me is Carol Phipps.
Oh.
She's also reelected to the board.
Okay.
And I'm going to mention Carol is our parks liaison. We have our board members kind of assigned to the different committees and boards, so we don't all have to go to these. I don't have to go to all the meetings. So in November 18th, because you guys haven't met and we haven't been here, seems like a long time ago, but last year, Carol received a volunteer to the corridor award, and Carol's involved with Cummings Elementary School beautification of their grounds, the reader board pots and whatnot. She's the gardener. She also helps with her husband at the food barrels, which, just a little information, we collected 3,160 pounds of food last year.
Wow.
Creek in Weimar is what we collect, and $414 cash. But the main thing was that she worked at Willamette Manor Park with setting up several work parties and planting that hill, and she's going to share with you an update on that.
Okay.
So it was kind of a 2 or 3 stage project. Spring of maybe almost 2 years ago, we started the project and with Parks grant that you guys gave us, thank you very much, and cleared the hill, covered it with the jute cloth, and planted over 100 kinnick plants on the hillside in the springtime. And because it was spring, it got into summer very quickly and it got very hot. So a lot of the plants didn't survive. And so we had a second planting again in the fall with the parks, another parks grant. And most of those have taken hold. So the update is the plants that were planted first have really started to spread out, which is kind of nice. And the plants that were planted second are still there and they're still alive. So I'm hoping in the spring, when they start to grow again, they will be spreading as well. So probably in another year and a half, 2 years, the hillside should be covered. So I also put a barrier around it for over a year and decided to take that down, and hopefully it'll stay intact. I have seen a little bit of footprints and breakage of plants, but I think, you can't have a fence up forever. So anyway, did you want me to talk about, or go ahead?
Yeah. So that was in the Parks Master Plan to
Right.
Work on the erosion on that hill, so the sliding down the sidewalk, so it looks a lot better now. So on January 28th of this year, Cummings Elementary School Neighborhood Family Council had a resource fair, which the West Kaiser Neighborhood Association had a table at. And I had a little questionnaire, because we're starting to reach out to, well, we want to reach out to the Cummings School parents too, to see what they would like to see in our parks. So I had a little questionnaire about West Kaiser parks, and included Kaiser Rapids Park. We just got about 6 inputs. I'll just go through them quickly. Kaiser Rapids Park, is there a water fountain at
A
the
drinking fountain.
drinking fountain at the Big Toy?
Yeah.
Is there any drinking fountain?
Yes,
Okay.
several. I mean,
So
there's
that's taken care of.
2 and
Yeah, so
yeah.
I think there was a concern maybe that they didn't know if there was enough. I'm thinking maybe.
I mean, they turn it off in the winter. So
So,
fall through early spring,
but that's true of all the parks. so yeah.
absolutely, yeah.
Okay. Kaiser Rapids Park, we like the trails and playground. Palmacia, the nice new bark dust on the trail.
Yeah,
Sunset lives up to it, very nice. Wallace House Park, cool paths, Kaiser Rapids, clear the poison oak out, the trails, please. And I think in the natural area, the conservation area, can you?
Can that be
turn
done?
off? I think they're talking about the trails through the conservation area. Can poison oak be?
well, and I know that in Kaiser Rapids, if you go off the trail where you're not supposed to go, yes, there is poison oak.
Okay,
But that's
Good
what
to know.
lives here in the Pacific Northwest. So, I mean, there's not poison oak growing over the trails. I mean, there's some that grows up trees.
Okay, Willamette Manor, tennis, and they like the tennis and basketball. More covered shelters is what they like to see added to parks. Kaiser Rapids Park, an obstacle course, and, Wallace House, a newer play structure. And I don't know when we did that, 20 years ago or
Yeah,
something.
my kids were little, and that was like the best play structure in town.
right.
Yeah.
My kids are 18 and 17 now, so,
I think it's in here on the 5-year up to, the capital improvement plan, I think it's in year 28, 29 or so. So
yeah.
I know it's coming, so.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, we are reaching out to our community.
Okay.
And we have a meeting hopefully tomorrow, Thursday night. It's
Yeah.
not freezing rain. And we'll have a questionnaire too and get some more input. And we also want to maybe pick a project that we can work on this summer. We work with Clyde Creek Watershed and the Rotary Satellite Club down at Wallace House Park. And the Saga Day in the Park, the Rain Garden Workshop, and Trashy Tuesday. So we're pretty involved with our parks.
Yes.
Appreciate all you guys do and the representatives of each park. So we're looking forward to getting invited to the master plan amendment that will be coming up. I understand that may be just for Kaiser Rapids Park. I don't know that you've discussed it at the Parks Board level yet, but Carolyn and I talked with Adam Brown, so we're looking forward to being involved with that. My understanding was it's just going to be with Kaiser Rapids Park, but they're still working with the consultant. So just to let you know, we have been involved with the Kaiser Rapids Park since its development in 2005. I can't believe it. It's been
Yeah.
20 years in the 80s. But we want to continue to see improved green space, picnic shelters, and activities for youth, such as an obstacle course.
Okay.
So I know that there's been a community initiative grant that's been applied for, and we just hope that that is not predetermined something at the park that we want what the community wants, but I think we need to talk about what's going to go at Kaiser Rapids Park, because we
Yes.
don't really have that much land left there
Yes.
to develop.
Well, yeah, and I hope that, I'm assuming, and we know what that means, that there is going to be community outreach, and there will be talking to people and find out what they are looking for in the parks, or in the park. And I will talk to Robert and ask him about the poison oak issue,
Okay.
so.
And so, yeah, and along with that, we would like to see the completion of the turf fields
Mhm.
We've been told that the phase 2 is coming, the concessions and the restrooms. But phase 3 is the parking lot, and of course, that's kind of one of our main concerns. Some input that we had at Kaiser Rapids, or the turf fields, was the parking, so people park at the turf fields and not look for paved spots in the neighborhood.
Yes.
So, okay.
All right. Does anybody have any questions? Liam?
Thank you. So, must have been July, I guess. I decided I was going to take a bike ride one Saturday to all 19 parks in Kaiser, and on my way through West Kaiser, I noticed a few standing boxes where you had pamphlets for your for the West Kaiser. Yeah, brochures, right. And I thought it was just extremely helpful to get to know more about an area of the city where I don't go often. I live in the east half of the city, but it was extremely helpful. The parks on that visit looked great. So I just want to thank you for making my trip really enjoyable for the west half of the city.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Any other questions?
Any projects that you?
Comments? No rude remarks. We're not doing rude remarks tonight.
I guess my only thing would be on park, or on the staff report. Bill, will you be addressing some of those items tonight, or are those kind of on hold?
Well, I have to go to the Gubser Neighborhood Association meeting at 6:30, so we'll see if I do a staff report.
Okay.
But I will say the master plan, that update that we're working on, will have public input. We haven't nailed that whole process down and what that looks like completely yet. I think we're gonna kind of delay the project a little bit so that we can do, some input, public outreach, and there's a term the consultant uses for it, and it's escaping me right now. But basically put up a booth or something at Kaiser Fest to gauge input from the public during the Kaiser Fest. Probably the best community event to get community input for the park. So in between now and then, I think what's going to happen is the consultants are going to reach out to the neighborhood associations, gather some input from them, maybe some of the sports organizations. I'm not quite sure exactly how broad that's going to be. But this is a focused master plan amendment for Kaiser Rapids Park, and it's not the whole park. It's really the topic of the term pavilion. Now, what is a pavilion? That's a question that we have to put out to the public. Adam and I, the city manager, Adam Brown, and I have talked about that. Believe we need to have some options, kind of the low end, medium, high end, and what is that? We're not quite sure what that is at this point, and of course, there's always the option of nothing. That's in the option. So working through that, refining the process with the consultants, and be picking up things here shortly again, with some meetings probably starting sometime next month. So.
Thank you.
Mhm.
That's very helpful. All right. All right. Thank you so much. All right. Tammy or Jackie, do you guys want to say anything? All right. Next on my interested citizens is Peggy, but I'm going to hold off on her until we switch to number 4. Come on, Peggy.
I'm Peggy Moore. I'm going to oversee the Peggy and Jerry Moore Community Garden. I'm here tonight to request a matching grant for $300. It's more than last year, but prices are higher this year again. So, my goal every year is to make sure that every gardener is successful. If the gardener is successful, the garden's gonna be successful. I also have the, when I do buy flowers and plants, things like that, I have the garden the first year we did that, nobody had ever planted a hanging basket before. Now they're excited to do it. And if you go to the store, you know, you buy your plants, you buy your soil, you buy your pot. But we have those things available now that we keep every year. We make our own planting mix. We buy on discount. I keep an agreement with some of the store managers and owners throughout the year. They're very kind about keeping us, giving us discounts. So we're able to plant things at a big discount, and then if you go to the store and buy something, you find out you would have been paying 3-4 times as much. But it's a learning experience, and then people go home and can do it, or, you know, they know the rest of their life how to do that. So I just like to keep them educated. We grow a lot of herbs because herbs are so expensive in the stores, but we can grow a barrel of herbs for $5. Everybody can have herbs all year long. I've taught them how to make flavored salts, flavored oils, how to dry it. I don't know what we're gonna do this year. We'll figure out something to do with herbs that's different. We've made compound butter. You know what that is? That's flavored butter. So then the gardeners, we have a lot of low income and fixed income people. But they can have these gourmet items because they made them.
Sweet.
So we just like to have a successful garden. And I just think we do that every year. I'm very happy with it. It's successful every year. And thanks to Tanya and her husband Greg who started that. You know, she taught me a lot. We had a little sit down. She taught me an awful lot. So anyway, I'm asking for $300 so that we can make our garden successful and buy some of the items that we need every year. Every year we have to buy a new hose. Every year there's some garden tool that breaks or disappears or is misplaced. So there's always an expense.
It's gorgeous.
All right. Okay, so does anybody have any questions of Peggy?
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the request for $300 for the board, or the Parks Board matching grant. It is.
Okay, talk with you.
I'm making the motion to approve the $300 Parks Board matching grant for Jerry and Peg Moore Community Garden.
Okay, second by Clay. So let's vote. Everybody in favor? Aye. Okay, anybody opposed? Anybody abstaining? All right, it looks like it passed with flying colors. Now, I have one question. So, let's say that you may be like a Parks Board member and you don't have a spot at the community garden, but you want to learn how to make salt that's flavored, or you want to learn how to,
Tell you to come.
you want to learn how to, yeah, or you want to learn how to do some of this stuff. Like, how do people, like, is that something that,
You get your salt, you
She wants to be invited.
all right, okay. We'll talk later. But yeah, no, I mean,
salt you want.
this is something I didn't know about.
Herbs first, or you can take the herbs in, mix it all up, put it on a sheet pan, put it in the oven at a very low temperature for,
Oh, wow,
I do mine about an hour.
okay.
Make sure the herbs are dry so that they don't mold. And then you put it in a jar.
All right. That's super exciting. Okay. Well,
Thank you.
we might have to talk later about other stuff.
It's very easy.
Okay.
You go to the store and buy it.
Yeah.
It's so expensive, $15 for a jar, and you can make it for 10 cents.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Looking forward to the finished receipt.
She just said, come visit.
Okay. See, that's what I wanted. I wanted an invitation.
And, there's a fence, and the gates are locked,
Right.
gardeners are instructed, they never, ever have to let somebody into the garden, no matter who they are. But if you make arrangements with me, I'll make sure I'm there and
Okay.
give you a little tour, tell you the stories about what's all been donated, what the scouts have done.
Perfect,
Stories of the gardeners.
perfect. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Peggy.
Oh, Gwen, you had your hand raised?
Peggy, maybe you can teach us how to do some of these things.
Well, yeah.
All right?
Maybe you can teach us how to do some of these things, like making salt and all that. Maybe we
do
can,
have them on sheets.
I'd pay a fee.
Like that.
oh,
Just saying.
okay.
Because I hand them out to the gardeners, because they do need to, take it home,
Absolutely.
learn how to do it. We do some there. But, I mean, I like for my gardeners to live like rich people.
Yep,
Thank you.
Thanks, Peggy.
thank you. All right, moving right along. Parks reports, Mike.
Northview, I stopped by Northview yesterday around 11 o'clock. The park actually looked very good. The tables are in good shape. All the play structures were in really good shape. The only thing was kind of quizzical to me was the gate was locked at like 11 o'clock in the morning. I'm not sure what was going on with that, or if that's become a norm. Is that done during the winter, or is it just didn't happen?
Honestly, I'm not positive, but I think that gate is managed and controlled more by the pool and
Okay.
city staff.
Oh.
I know it used to be, and I think it's still that way.
I can't remember. I mean, I stop by monthly, and usually it's unlocked, so.
I can follow up with the guys and find out if they open it, but I
And there's a
think
sign
it's
actually
the pool.
beside the gate that said the park closes at 9, or the gate locks at 9, it said. So I don't know if that's oriented towards the pool either.
Okay.
Then the other park was Country Glen, and Country Glen is a beautiful park, but it's really having an issue with gopher or mole holes. I probably counted like 30 to 40 of those on the side towards the entrance to the park, by the playground area and around there, and it's really getting noticeable, so not sure what's going on with that, but wanted to make you aware of it. Like, you're not already aware, right, Bill?
No, right?
All right.
Huh?
I might not be aware of it, but others are.
Yeah,
So, that's a problem that we face in all our parks on a regular basis, and it's like cyclic, they come and go, get worse and
Right.
get better. Country Glen's been a habitual problem, so we try and deal with them as best we can.
okay.
Perfect. All right, Clay.
Bear Park looks good as usual. I did not know I had Clear Lake because I was not here last month, but I will check on that coming around. I'll also report on Kaiser Rapids on the pickleball courts. They're getting used quite regularly, even during the winter.
Good.
There's an adjustment we need to make to the wind screens because the sun's not melting the ice on the south side. But that's an easy fix. And so things are moving along good.
Perfect. All right, Bob. We just call this one U Newton Park.
Okay, whatever. Bob Newton Park's fine. Drove through it a few times. Nothing, no graffiti, no new graffiti, I should say. And then a new park that I just was given to last month, and I wasn't here either, is Mike Whittam. Everything looks good. Garden boxes, of course, they'll be all cleaned up here pretty soon, I'm sure, by the community who does that garden boxes over there. But and on Kaiser Rapids Park, real quick, so we played pickleball the last couple weeks, and they were frozen. And a couple of the ladies had called Robert, and he gave us the okay to take down some of those sunscreens. So we took them down and dropped them off to Robert, and it was just the south side. Is that the south side? South side that was not getting unthawed, so it was kind of a safety factor. So we took them down, and I haven't been down. I'm going to play tomorrow, but they were probably, hopefully not, well, they were probably frozen this morning, but so I think that's going to help a lot. We'll see what happens when the wind comes up come spring. So, yeah.
All right. Okay, and then Matt has Ryan J. Hill and Chalmers Jones. Because I knew Matt wasn't going to be here, and he asked me to put a great big thank you to every person who helped take out the water feature, take out all that equipment, get that all taken care of. I decided to drive by there today, and it looks amazing. But it's so funny because the park looks so small now, without having that great big thing in the
That
middle.
tree's gone,
Yeah,
yeah.
with the tree and the,
Big boulders.
Yeah, the big boulders, the waterless water feature, all of that, it's just like you walk there, you saw the little spot, it's all nice and flat, it looks really beautiful, and then there's a parking lot just right there. So, we're looking forward to getting the, Gold Star Memorial Monument, funded and put up. I know that they're gonna go out there and look and make sure that it's the best spot for it, is that feature had to come out either way. So really looking forward to that. And I just, from Matt and from me, I just wanted to big thank you for every single person who helped. It's just, it's wonderful work. And then, does anybody have anything they want to add about Kaiser Rapids? Anybody else say anything?
Lisa,
Not
you have
you?
anything to add?
No. I'm talking a lot tonight. All right. Okay. So, does anybody have any new business or old business that they want to talk about? All right, so staff report, look at this, 3 minutes.
I can do this staff report in a minute and a half.
Of course you can. You're amazing.
I wanted to mention the master plan update, so we got that out of the way. Robert's been on vacation the last 9 days, so I've had a bit of contact with this park staff, but they've been out busy keeping things running. Haven't heard any complaints or any real issues. Let's see, Bob Newton Park, the plan is to rebuild that park over the next 2 fiscal years, starting this spring, finishing this summer. We have a concept drawing for the playground that's been sent to the Neighborhood Association. I'll be talking to them about that here in a few minutes. Robert and I haven't really fully discussed timing of everything else that we're gonna do up there in terms of parking and how we're gonna structure the bids, but we'll do that when he gets back. But the goal is to have that done by the end of summer, complete. We'll see how successful we can be. I think we can be pretty successful with that. Pickleball courts were mentioned. I want to talk about taking the windscreens down, but that's been mentioned. The Gold Star Memorial's been mentioned. There was a lot of work that went on by volunteers and city staff up there to get that old feature removed.
Yes.
Call it that. It was a little more difficult to dismantle than all of us thought, but it got done before it rained too. Boy, that's really the highlights. Budget. We're working on budget. Robert and I will be updating the 3 to 5 year priority plan, which we do every year, and ready to present that to the Long Range Planning Task Force. Just as information, that's on March 10th. The next day is the Parks Board meeting, March 11th. So we won't have a chance to get that in front of the Parks Board before the Long Range Planning Committee meeting, but it's really not going to change at all. It may modify a little bit, move some things here and there, but there's no changes to it that I can think of. And Robert and I stay in contact enough. I don't think there's anything that he's going to come up with and surprise me that say we need to change or add. So it'll be very similar to what you saw last year. And it's budget season. Got all my budget templates from the finance director yesterday and Friday, and put staff to work getting on the numbers. So
Sounds
with that,
like a
any
good time.
questions?
I would just like to let you know that, parks and city staff are rock stars. So.
Absolutely. I
Just let you
second
know that.
I second that.
Thank you.
Um,
We try hard every day. Thank you, appreciate that.
And Marlene,
Ta-da.
it's good to have you back. Thank you so
It's
much
good
for
to be
coming back.
Parks are my thing, I love it. A couple of things, that $10,000 grant
Mm-hmm.
has been approved for forward payment for the Gold Star Memorial. And
Yay.
speaking of which, Adam did a grant, but it's a matching grant, so it's for after we get the original 30,000 to get it, and then we'll get out bold and raise the money so we can match it to get that up, so. And that is for the things after. Because the actual memorial's like 60 grand, right? And then, but we're putting lights and concrete, I
Right.
mean, all this other stuff around there, so. It's gonna get done, I mean, we're working hard. We
Perfect.
the city partnered with Elks and Rotary, letters for the grant to help get that through, so. And then I think Rotary, and also both of those organizations are giving money. So that's a good thing. So, and other than that, we are getting geared up for budget, getting ready to do our goals. So if you can think of anything that you think we need to put on our goal list, let me know. We love goals.
I am going to say what I would really love to see is that little piece of property on Shoreline where there's a pump house and an old well, a little bit of a structure. It's already got a fence around it. City staff already mows it, just putting a little bit of a fence around to keep that stuff. That would be a beautiful 20th park with access to the river.
Yeah, but I don't know if they'll do that because I think they
No, I
have
know.
to, I think they have to have, that's something we could have asked.
Well, and I mean,
Bill.
I know with the master plan, I mean, I know
Yeah.
that when we did the master
Yeah.
plan, finding more land with access to the river was in our master plan.
Right. Well, my association, we don't even have a park.
Okay.
So the Northwest Kaiser Association, we have the school, 2 schools, but no parks. They have all the parks.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they want to share, but they have all the parks. You'll share, they'll share. So it's, you know, it's so difficult because they have so many parks in their association that they kind of look after, help us out. And then our association is begging for a park.
Right.
For our children, you know, because we're more of a rectangle, and then we have an elementary school, and they redid that elementary school, but like, it's not a park, you know, you can't get back there.
Right.
So it's not like that the kids can go play. So we definitely need some land to get a park, and I'm begging, there's land, on 15th and Willow Leaf, where the old building where they built the coffin things, the concrete things, you know what I'm talking about? Now it's dilapidated, there's nothing there. Well, in the front, on the Chemawa side, I understand they're building maybe apartments or something, but there's nothing scheduled for the backside. So I would like to really find out who bought that land and what maybe we could use a little bit of that land for a
Right.
park. Yeah,
Well, yeah.
that would be nice.
I mean, I think more parks the merrier. I mean, mine was just a pretty low cost because we already own the land. We already take care of that land. And it would just let other people use it. And
Right.
there's so much
I just don't know how
walking
far
traffic.
they want to go, like having people around the pump. You know, they want to make sure.
I live by Willamette Manor where we
Yeah.
have the same thing and it's just fenced off.
It's just
and-
fenced off.
Yeah. So,
Talk to those guys.
oh, I know.
Burnside, we've already talked about it.
Oh, have you?
Yeah. It's just, there's no movement, so.
No movement. Well,
Well, if we had a champion on the council,
It's more
just saying.
asking them. It's the pump house is called Burnside.
how about a short-term goal? Look at that.
Me? Obviously.
More parks.
Yeah, Tanya, yeah, we love them. So,
Got it.
anyway,
Okay, that's all I have though for now. So,
Perfect.
Unless you guys have any more questions.
I don't know, does anybody have any questions for Marlene? I mean, a great big welcome back.
Thank you.
It's nice to see a smiling face. Does anybody have anything else they'd like to say? Jill, do you have anything? Okay, Gwen, do you have anything? Hey, Mike?
Nope, I'm good.
How about you, David?
No.
All right, I've talked the entire night, so everybody's sick of me. Tanya,
Nothing to say?
Bob?
I second that motion.
Oh, my goodness.
No, I have
I know. You know, you and I, we have this love-hate thing going on. Anyway, Clay. Okay, and Liam, anything?
I guess I just have one thing.
All right.
It's following up on last meeting's notion that I made about a potential Parks Club at McNary. I'm still trying to get it still trying to get it up and running. There's just one thing that's holding me back, and that's just looking for a potential staff member to advise it. But I have dates all set up. As soon as I get it running, I can contact Robert for potential projects to get a start on. So my hope is that next 2 to 3 weeks, we actually have we can actually get a start on and have our first meeting, go for all the stuff I need to, talk to people about what we want to see, and then work with Robert from there.
So you need a school staff.
Right,
All
that's
right.
the thing.
Okay. Well, good luck. If anybody
you.
can get that done, it's you. And council Parsons?
I have one more thing, I'm sorry.
Yes. Oh.
Speaking of graffiti, I know you
Okay.
talked about graffiti, so you know, all the neighborhood associations are now coming together. We're working with the junior ROTC at McNary and wiping out graffiti, so.
Yay.
It's very, very important that if you see graffiti in any park or anywhere else, that you please go on the website and send it to Ben, because we have a big red dot, green dot thing, so we know where those are at. And then these students will go out and paint over it. We're just waiting to get the paint right now. We have another meeting with McNary next week, and we hope to get that going 3 or 4
Perfect.
times a year at least. So
Okay.
I just wanted to remind you that. Thank
Oh,
you.
Thank you. That's a good reminder. All right. If there's nothing else, I declare this meeting adjourned at 6:36 PM.
Sweet. Thank you, Lisa. Happy birthday.
Yeah, yeah. And that is my.